Today, we are talking about Henry Cavill exiting the Witcher series, Michael Imperioli's secret Sopranos film, and Florence Pugh and Alexander Skarsgård next movie.
Welcome back to Freeze Frame, episode 86, brought to you by Strictly Casual. I'm your host, Ryder Maldonado, joined as always by Vincent DeSantis.
I forgot to mention today's stories thing. Also, kind of the biggest news of the week is James Gunn is taking over DC, but we'll get to that too.
Oh, yeah. It's just a lot of stuff, as always, to fit it in. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're doing well, having a great week. As of recording, this is Halloween, but I'm sure when this is up, it's going to be November, which means time to put your Christmas decorations up? Question mark? Is this the time? November 1st?
I'm always anti that, but I don't know. I know a lot of people that are for that.
Yeah, it's too early. I think it's too early, but, enjoy the holidays because it's starting. It's starting now. But, ladies and gents, we got a fun episode this week. If you have Instagram and Twitter, check us out on social media down below. If you want to give us a review, if you're listening on the audio platforms like Apple, the podcast, Spotify, and all that, let us know what we're doing right, or let us know what we're doing wrong. Or you can head to YouTube and you can see the full video podcast. You can become a member there and show us some support, as well as Discord and other social media link down below.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I guess we just get into it.
How's the mics sounding, by the way, on your end? They good?
Yeah,
they look
everything's
good?
Sounding good so far. Thanks for asking. Yeah, we're looking good.
Okay, well, let's do the clip second so we can do another story first. Let's just get this one out of the way. The Michael Imperioli is co-writing a secret film with Sopranos creator David Chase. This comes from IndieWire. David Chase is the creator of Sopranos. The White Lotus season 2 star, Ryder, you're watching White Lotus right now.
Yeah.
Revealed that he is co-writing, this is talking about Michael, he's co-writing a feature with Chase that will involve fellow Sopranos alumni Steve Schirripa, who co-hosts viral podcast Talking Sopranos with Imperioli. Yeah, we're writing a movie together right now for me and Steve. It's a mystery project, he said on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, about reuniting with Emmy winner Chase. I can't talk about it beyond that. He added, David and I are writing together. I can't say what it's about, but when it comes out, I'm going to come here. Before anybody, I'm going to come here and talk about it. I don't know, giving Jimmy Fallon the exclusive or something like that. Some fans have speculated that the film will be part of the expanding Sopranos cinematic universe on the heels of the prequel movie. I can't believe cinematic universe it's like a mainstay term for all media now, which is really weird. It's coming on the heels of the prequel movie, The Many Saints of Newark. Imperioli reprised his role of Christopher Moltisanti in a posthumous narrator for the 2021 film that focused on Christopher's father, Dickie Moltisanti. Blah, 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 blah. Chase later told The Hollywood Reporter that he is open to doing one more movie and has an idea of what he'd like to do, but I don't think they want that. David Chase famously said that Many Saints of Newark was going to be like his last thing in the Sopranos universe, but has an idea for one more thing. Sounds like HBO didn't want him to do that thing and would rather they wanted him to do a show that started at the end of Many Saints of Newark and then worked its way up to The Sopranos.
Yeah.
But I don't really want that. I think
Too much.
Sopranos is so timeless. It's perfect. Just don't touch it anymore.
Just build.
Even the movie was unnecessary. Even though it was fine, it was like okay. It was
adding more to it's just adding more fat to the store.
You have 5 perfect seasons. That's it. Done.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say we saw the creator of Breaking Bad is teaming up with the actress from Better Call Saul now to do something else. So
yeah,
like you were saying, I would love to see. Let's have him do something else. You know what I mean? Like great creator and great actor. I'm already loving him in White Lotus. Let's see them. Have fun with something else.
I mean, and Vince Gilligan, he's for Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Like he had the story for both. Like he knew what he wanted to tell. It's not like he's studio's asking him to like. I'm sure the studio is asking him like, "Hey, what do you say we do a show about this character?" Like I'm sure they want that because it draws people in. But Vince is like, "Hey, we got it. Like this is my story. I'm moving on. Yeah, I got another story I want to tell, and I'm sure it's gonna be just as good."
Absolutely. Yeah. Sorry, was there more to this?
Just thought that was interesting. Nope, that's it.
Okay. Well, yeah. No, this is great. I mean, I don't have any more, but yeah. Well, as for the White Lotus, I was watching it, and he's such a. You could tell, man. He has a royalty to him. He's so good. He's a good actor.
He's good. He's in like Goodfellas, a lot of old, a lot of crime movies and stuff back then. But pretty funny. Anything that takes place in New York where you have side characters or like New Jersey and stuff, he's in it in the 90s.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
hilarious.
it's fitting. Yeah. Another thing I wanted to talk about before we got into the topics, for the Halloween season, to wrap up. What were some of your favorite scary movies of the year, or Halloween movies, or anything that kind of jumped out at you? You had some that you've been telling me about.
This year, I think I saw X and Men towards the beginning of the year. Men was horrifying, but
yeah,
not great.
Okay.
Did you watch that one, Ryder?
No, I never got to that one, but
it's like disgusting. It is disgustingly weird. Like it's really good, and then the end is like, oh, what the hell is this kind of movie? I don't really know what I'm watching. Huh?
Okay, cool.
And then I liked X a lot too. Nope was really great. I'm trying to think of other horror movies I saw this year. I don't think I saw that many. Yeah. I saw Fresh.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was also just okay.
That's a good one. Yeah, Sebastian Stan, right? Yeah, it was. People were posting about different photos of all the horror movies that came out this year, and I was surprised at how many. It seems like this year really had an upkeep in them. There was this movie called Barbarian that I recently saw, and
that's on HBO now. I want to check that out. My boss loves that movie.
We talked about it a little bit on the pod a few weeks back, but yeah, like I said, the first half is, man, there's some stuff that's really original in it, and then it takes an interesting turn, which could be enjoyable for a lot, or even kind of displeasing for some. But yeah, that was kind of a sleeper that kind of broke out. People were also talking about, I think like you said, the Pearl, and then there was another one like a gory one.
I didn't see Pearl. That's the second. I mean, they did 2 movies this year. X and Pearl's crazy.
Let's see if they can pump out the third one. Maybe we get like Christmas holiday. Imagine they don't even advertise it. They just say coming out next week.
I'm looking up the horror movies of this year, and they have Fletch in the horror movies. I'm like, dude, that's a comedy. That is not a horror movie.
Yeah, the one you saw. Yeah.
No, I haven't seen the new Fletch yet. I want to.
Oh, that's what we were. Okay, my bad.
I want to really bad.
Nope.
It's out of theaters now.
We saw Nope this past weekend again, and it was like, man, it really goes to show like you can blend genres. And that's kind of the new thing now, right? Is even with superhero movies, you see where like, let's do a Western or let's do a horror movie, because there's so many movies out just in general. You gotta do genre blending. It's such an interesting study, because Nope was horror, but it was also like thriller adventure, but then like a splash of Western. It was like a new age Western, which is so unique to it. And I was like, wow, this is fascinating.
Yeah, I think if I had to choose one, it would be Nope. I think that is my favorite of the year so far, but I also have not seen enough to consider myself a horror fanatic this year. Have you seen Uma or Uma?
No, I
heard it was not very good.
No, horror movies of the year. No,
Sandra Oh.
Oh, I heard some things about that one. Okay, no, yeah, that one was scary, and it was based on like a childhood story.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw a trailer for it a while ago and it looked okay, but then like 30% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I don't know if it's worth checking out.
That's sad. Another one, of course, Scream earlier in the, but that was more of like a slasher, classic, and I know that now they're doing like multiples of that one. Prey on Hulu. Prey was.
I watched Prey. Yeah,
that was one of the best.
Horror though, right? Is that horror?
I would consider like a hunting horror,
suspenseful
monster flick. Yeah, probably more suspense. Monster flick. And of course, another one, the last one that I thought was really talked about, Smile. People were saying Smile was horrifying, the most terrifying movie of the year.
Oh, yeah. That was because all the advertising was so creative for that. I haven't heard anything about the movie.
Really? I've seen some people talk about like, oh man, I went into it like, it's scarring how scary it is. And I was like, really? I don't know about that.
All right, cool.
But they did say that about Barbarian, and Barbarian was... like I guess 6 out of 10. Not really for jump scares, just because of concept. It's pretty
okay. Cool.
It depends. It's horror, like any movie, subjective. It depends on what you find scary, like subject matter or jump scares. Like different for everybody.
Yeah. Are you more of a jump scare or subject matter?
I'm more of a subject matter, because jump scares are like. Me too. I'm always like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, got me.
That's why Midsommar was so scary for me.
Oh man, yeah, that's. Dude, the director of that one and Hereditary, it's scary, like uneasy scary.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Oh, it's awful stuff. That's good, yeah.
Crazy.
Some fun films.
Should we jump into this?
Let's do it.
All right, you're gonna intro this clip.
Okay.
Sorry, big yawn. Okay, I'm gonna give you the countdown, and then I'm gonna say 1 and record on 1, and then you just go.
Got it.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Henry Cavill is exiting the Witcher show on Netflix, possibly to do some more Superman films. Who knows? But he's being replaced by Liam Hemsworth for season 4, and we have some details on what that could mean for the future for Henry. Vincent, take us away.
Yeah, so right here, this comes from IndieWire, says the shocking news was announced on the show's official social media accounts on Saturday, with both actors releasing statements explaining that the change was amicable. My journey, this is from Henry Cavill, my journey as Geralt of Rivera has been filled with both monsters and adventures. And alas, I will be laying down my medallion and my swords for season 4, Cavill said. In my stead, the fantastic Mr. Liam Hemsworth will be taking up the mantle of the White Wolf. As with the greatest of literary characters, I pass the torch with reverence for the time spent embodying Geralt and enthusiasm to see Liam take on this most fascinating and nuanced of men.
Interesting. I saw a lot of conversation about why not create maybe a new original character in the Witcher universe or another Witcher. You know, why replace Geralt, that specific guy,
but
right?
More fascinating to me is why Cavill left.
Yeah.
And there's two big floater reasons happening. Number one being obviously Superman being back as Superman, right? Which is great. I think Henry Cavill's a great Superman. I can't wait to see more movies with just him and not focused on team up movies, like just Superman movies. Sounds good to me. But there's more reasons here.
Yeah, some fascinating stuff.
There are articles. No, they're not really in this.
No, I know.
What I wrote down here, but there's articles from the last few
the contract, right?
Months and years, in which Henry Cavill's very unhappy with the way that the writers are writing the Witcher series because he's a huge fan of the book, just like Superman. Like Henry Cavill's a nerd, just like the best of us, where he likes The Witcher before he did The Witcher show, a huge fan. And he didn't like how it was written, notes that he wanted to give to try to make it closer to the books and stuff like that. They were all turned away. And the actual showrunners have never read The Witcher books, like things like that, where they're just like trying to create a universe based on their knowledge of it, I guess, and specialists' knowledge of it, instead of diving in and trying to not recreate the books. You don't have to recreate the books, but
just
it's
honoring
a difference
it in a
of
way.
opinion. Difference of thoughts.
And now with, like we said, new leadership at DC and possibilities for him in his career, I saw that it takes so long shooting the shows. He's definitely like, no, I think it's best that I step away. Sorry, guys.
Well, I think
too, like
if you think of his legacy, his legacy is going to be Superman, not The Witcher. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but I mean, it's good for him.
Both stuff. I
hope he can do it all.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else do we have?
Let's see. Henry Cavill has been an incredible Geralt, and I'm honored that this is from the executive producer.
Liam Neeson.
This is Liam Hemsworth. Okay, I'll say this fast and then I'll get to the next point real quick. He says, "I'm honored that he's handing me the reins and allowing me to take up the White Wolf's blades for the next chapter of this adventure." Hemsworth said, "Henry, I've been a fan of yours for years and was inspired by what you brought to this beloved character. I may have some big boots to fill, but I'm truly excited to be stepping into the Witcher world." And while Cavill did not offer a reason for stepping away, the casting change coincides, of course, with the news. He will once again be playing Superman, like we were talking about, in another standalone film from Warner Brothers. And Cavill appeared as Superman in Black Adam post-credit scene, which
I guess not spoilers, but it's
that
been spoiled 3 weeks before release. I haven't even seen the movie yet. I don't even care.
Yeah, you don't need it.
Yeah,
you don't need it, bro.
And then basically, Henry Cavill went on Instagram and he said, "I wanted to make it official. I am back as Superman. The dawn of hope renewed. Thank you for your patience. It will be rewarded." Cavill's Superman will be a part of the major creative overhaul at Warner Brothers under the leadership of James Gunn and Peter Safran, who were recently named chairman and co-CEOs of DC Studios and will be tasked with building a cinematic universe that rivals what Kevin Feige has done with Marvel. And if you want to know all about that, we have all of that in the full episode of Freeze Frame. If you want to go over to audio platforms, type in Freeze Frame, Strictly Casual. It's a little yellow box that says Freeze Frame. You can click that, subscribe there. Or if you want the entire podcast on YouTube, you can go to youtube.com/strictlycasual and become a member right there for all of your DC news with the new heads. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out. I think that was my best segue ever. Let's get right into the DC James Gunn news.
Yes, fantastic. I brought some good little anecdotes that I've been listening out throughout the internet, and I hope it's interesting too because there's some good stuff here. Okay, but yeah, of course, let's get into it. James Gunn, Peter Safran, new CEOs at DC Studios, which is, of course, the new title change, right? It's not, what was it, DC, what were they called? DCEU? Yeah, I guess it was what it was before.
They call it the DC Extended, or the
Yeah.
DC Cinematic Extended Universe or something.
Yeah, so now it's completely new. They're like, we have our new studios now. We're renaming it with a new logo, too, which apparently kind of leaked. I don't know if that's going to be for a future film like The Flash or something, but it's completely redone. Here we go.
So it's not like a chrome circle with blue collegiate DC in the middle.
Oh no, I meant the intro, like the heroes, how they do the movie intro, kind of like the Marvel tag.
I kind of liked theirs. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it was great.
Okay,
but it is interesting. They changed it, for a new fresh face. The DC Studios, that the deal they have will last 4 years. Gunn is going to be the executive to DC. Gunn will focus on the creative side of things, while Safran will focus on the business and production side. Both are expected to continue to direct and produce products respectively, and they will report directly to David Zaslav, and work closely with Warner's film bosses, DeLuca. I think it's Bill DeLuca, I want to say. I had these names now, but I know DeLuca and Pamela Abdi. And then sources also say the deal runs 4 years, and Gunn will be exclusive to DC. The goal is for them not just to be producers, but to truly function as executives, even as Gunn will occasionally hone a movie. So
wow, the deal's only for 4 years.
Interesting. Yeah, but I wanted to ask you, when do you think we will start seeing the effects of James Gunn and Peter Safran? Like, I know it's not going to happen for a while, but when do you start? Well, when do you think?
If the deal runs 4 years from now, we have 2 more years right now of DC films that make absolutely no sense. We'll see which ones they end up canceling or reworking. I still don't think The Flash is going to come out. I think I don't know what they'll do. I really don't know what they're going to do with that. But their next slate of movies don't fit into this. And if they only have, here's my guess, is that if Gunn really pulls things together and things start happening in year 4, because I think it is going to take at least 4 years to start seeing those effects, at least 4 years. Then Gunn will sign another contract for much longer that will extend. But man, I don't know. I don't really know. It's so disheveled right now. They have to just start from scratch.
Yeah.
Which means we have to start shooting movies today to get a couple out by 2024.
Yeah, it's planning what solo films do we do. Yeah, for sure. It's like we got Henry Cavill, let's get a production team going, a Superman writing squad, let's have a script going for that. Let's do we want a Justice League? Do we want a separate because there's so many different teams too in DC that they can be like, we don't have to do Justice League. We could do Justice Society, right? Like they did in Black Adam, or they could do a Suicide Squad. People seem to like
that, right? Black Adam.
Yeah, that was more the highlight for them. They really enjoyed that team, which felt like an interesting inclusion to include that in Black Adam. Since, it just wanted to be the hero. It could have just been The Rock, but they threw in 4 more heroes.
How funny would it be if if Black Adam is like the starting point of the new movies?
I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised because those guys, it really was open-ended. It was an open-ended film the way it ended. So I assume they could say, hey, a split in a branch, and that they grow off of those guys.
Did they try to connect it at all? Did they talk about Shazam at all in there? Did they talk superheroes to kind of?
I would say yes. I don't know if you want me to tell you, but yeah,
that's okay. I'll watch it.
Not in this connects, but in a way it's like, oh, that's that. I know what that is. That's from
Interesting.
So probably I should say yes. Very obviously, yeah. It is connected. Okay. Weirdly so. So one little note. 3 little notes here I wanted to point out for you. Apparently, Kevin Feige was asked by Zaslav, or I think Alan Horn, to be the head of DC Studios. He politely declined. Interesting. And then,
can you imagine?
That'd be wild.
what would? I don't even think a paycheck would do it for him. Over there, it's not. He already has. Yeah. He has 15 years building this right now. He's not gonna do that. Yeah. Joke my ass. This is like me going up to. Yeah. I don't know. Some random other creator said, "Hey, you want to take over Strictly Casual? Are you ready to go? You ready?
Just leave, and just
please leave your own stuff and just come lead this now." What? No, we've been building this for a long time. And you're not gonna want to leave your thing. You've been building that for a long time.
I understand. So weird to me. Kevin Feige being, I expect Kevin Feige fully being no thanks, but thank you. I respect that. And just being so are you kidding? Internally.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Alan Horn used to be the head of films at Walt Disney.
Can you imagine? I'm sorry. I want to roll back to this real quick. Imagine Kevin Feige gets an email from David Zaslav or whoever's the head, and his secretary gets the email before it gets to Kevin, because obviously he has someone that goes through his email before he gets him, right? And she's like, "Oh my God, it's finally time for the DC and Marvel crossover movies that everybody's wanted." They're finally reaching out.
Oh my God!
Can you imagine that? Imagine that's how DC wants to get their get a good boost, is they do a DC and Marvel crossover movies to get more eyes on their movies.
You make a great point, because people are talking about this a lot. Marvel DC crossover. DC would be the only ones to gain from it, because
100%. Yeah.
It's like there's no need. There is no need for the heads. If 5-10 years down the line, they're like, hey, for fun, the producers are like, let's get together and do this. Sure, but I feel like there's just no gain. There's no. It'd be a waste of money. It'd be
I just think it'd be hilarious. It pops in.
It'd be hilarious.
DC X Marvel. You're like, what?
That'd be the craziest thing ever. Okay, so Alan Horn was the head at Walt Disney Studios of the film. He recently got fired, and I don't know if that's because of new leadership or because I think he just left. But I think it was more of a firing, right, in that vein. He's now the head of films at Warner Brothers Discovery. And so, what I've been not hearing, but what I've kind of put together in my head is that, maybe he was like, hey, James Gunn, it was around the same time James Gunn was getting fired and backlash for his stuff. So part of me thinks, hey, Alan Horn was like, listen, let's not rehire him here at Disney, because I'm about to be hired at Warner Brothers, and they're about to do a whole shift. And then I'll bring James Gunn on over here and make him the new head of the DC studios. I don't know. Somehow, I feel like that's in the back of their heads. I don't think it might, but that's a stretch. But man, what an interesting connection there, because they were close at Disney, and then he's like,
"Sure,
let me ask Kevin Feige. No, let me ask James Gunn. Because I know who is good at Disney." Mm-hmm.
Sure, I don't think that's a bad assumption right there.
Yeah, but I just found an interesting connection. I was like, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
We can jump back up. What do we got?
Our last kind of big story of the day is that Florence Pugh is going to star in Alexander Skarsgård feature directing debut called The Pack. This also comes from IndieWire. This will be an original film that was written by Rose Gilroy following a group. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry for these yawns. Following a group of documentaries who brave the remote wilderness of Alaska in an effort to save a nearly extinct species of wolves. When the crew is brought back together at a prestigious awards ceremony, tensions flare as a deadly truth threatens to unravel their work. The team live through the harsh elements of the wild, but will a secret they share survive the night? Sounds awesome.
Oh yeah,
sounds good.
That's great.
I really like Skarsgård's work over the last couple of years of Succession, Northman, obviously. And then obviously Florence Pugh is so good.
Superstar.
The next 2 points here are just all the times we'll see Pugh until then and Skarsgård until then. But The Pack is currently scheduled to start shooting in March 2023. No release date has been announced, but I'm excited for this. I'm excited to see a trailer when they start shooting and stuff like that.
Yeah, this sounds like one of those movies where it's a sleeper again. There's a lot of those.
Hopefully not. It has 2 huge stars.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless Alexander Skarsgård's not going to be in it also. Well, even with, it's going to be a team of documentarians, and if they have Florence Pugh on board, I'm sure they'll get a lot of famous people on board.
That's true. He's starring alongside Mia Goth in another film, and I want to say, following Pearl, a lot of people have been saying, yo, when she said, I'm going to be a star, that clip that's going viral of her saying, I think Mia Goth is on the up and up to be an A-list celebrity now following some of those movies, because she's phenomenal. I mean, even from the small... I looked up clips and stuff, and I'm like, wow, she's great. I feel like Mia Goth is on the up and up too.
You should watch X.
It's on my list of many other things.
I gotta watch Pearl, but I don't know what else she'd be in. I don't think she has. I guess in Pearl she's really has this monologue that's really good or something like that. I didn't think she was spectacular in X or anything. She was good. She kind of carried the movie, but I'd like to see her in.
And more. Yeah.
More stuff, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm with you. Alexander Skarsgård, amazing actor, and I love his repertoire that he's trying to branch out and do different things. It seems like every single time, historical piece and sci-fi, and then political drama, and now this seems like enticing.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Exciting stuff.
It's gonna be good stuff.
Okay, that's it for right. That's it for our big stuff.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. We're gonna zoom in through. Okay. Well, here we go.
Good.
Yeah, having fun time. Noteworthy headlines. This is a little shift. You changed the name, and I thought this was such a great idea. Noteworthy headlines.
Well, I think major news and light news dampens the
absolutely
the effect of what light news can be,
because it's not light stuff, because they're never. It's just that
we just don't have a lot of information on it. It's just things we can talk about, but there's not really much to go off.
Yeah. No, yeah. I was reading this and I was like, oh, this makes complete sense. Yeah.
Number one, Venom 3
is
going to be directed by Kelly Marcel, who will direct the Let There Be Carnage follow-up. She was previously producer on all 3 movies.
Nice.
She will be directing the 3rd one.
That's cool.
3 different directors.
I wish
this trilogy.
Kind of like with DC, I want to know Sony's plan. You know, I wish, like, okay, people are talking about CinemaCon. And I always say people. Okay, I've been saying throughout this whole episode, people talk about. It's just kind of the internet that I see. Okay, just for context.
Sure. Yeah.
But CinemaCon is next year. That's gonna be another con. That's gonna be pretty huge for DC, especially in like Sony, because that's where they go and they present their stuff. But it's
Adam
more
Webb
for like
and and all that, yeah.
It's more for like theater chains, because I think it's not really a public event. It's more for like, hey, if you're a head of a theater, you go here just to buy the movies for your theater. And but like tickets are really expensive, like up in the thousands of dollars, you know. But and then you can also get, I think, press invites and stuff like that. That's where they showed like Top Gun and stuff like that. So I think it's
Mission Impossible trailer last year.
I'm excited to see what Sony brings, because it seems like their ideas are all over the place too. I mean, DC
I don't know. I'll be excited about that when it happens.
We'll get an announcement.
Actually, I don't think I am very excited for anything Sony's doing right now.
It's wild stuff. It's pretty wild stuff.
What are they gonna do? Bring back Andrew Garfield?
Rumors are rumors, man. Who knows? If they did, that'd be crazy. We'll see. Okay, yeah, sorry. Doctor Who's coming to Disney Plus outside of the UK and Ireland. Future seasons of the show will stream exclusively on the platform starting November 2023. The connection here is mind-boggling.
What's the connection?
Like, I thought, BBC, and how did they manage to get it on Disney Plus? That's wild, right?
Great question. I don't really know.
Like, they were like,
probably, Disney probably paid a lot of money.
Yeah, paid a lot for this new season. It's gonna be huge, because they're doing like the No Way Home type vibe with the bringing back
with the doctors.
Yeah.
The Batman spinoff series set in Arkham Asylum finds a new showrunner in The Devil All the Time's Antonio Campos. Sources also say that Campos will direct and serve as showrunner / executive producer on the series should his version of the show ultimately go forward. Did you watch Devil of All Time or The Devil All the Time?
I did, yeah. It was a very slow burn drama, but very drama heavy about
Robert Pattinson, Tom,
Holland, and
Holland.
People's past and all that. Yeah, it was very, very dark.
Oh, that has Bill Skarsgård in it, right?
Yeah,
or not Bill Skarsgård. Yeah, Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that movie was like really interesting to watch, and then by the end, I was like, I don't know about this. But like while I was watching it, it was really good.
Yeah, it's very very, very
dark,
drama.
It's dirty.
Dark and dirty. Makes you feel uneasy.
Yeah.
Could be good, but yeah.
Which is great. Bring that and 10 times that for Arkham Asylum for the dirtiness of it, the grossness. Yeah.
Right. I can see this going real, like getting to the mind, like Joker-esque, but with the world, kind of the beautiful world that they've created for Matt Reeves' universe of Arkham. That's what I want. Gothic, very gothic. Bring up the gothic vibes. That's all I want.
It's in the name. Gotham City, baby. It's going to be there.
That's true, yeah.
You're right.
Here we go. We have William Jackson Harper's been casting Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I thought that was interesting because this was one of my fan castings for Reed Richards, and not that means anything, but
didn't a lot of people say he was not Reed Richards? I don't know.
No, I don't think he's not going to be Reed in this. We don't know who he is. I don't think he's going to be Reed, but I just was like, okay, they're casting people that people are talking about. Interesting.
They always do.
It's lining up. Yeah, I know.
They always do.
No, because you know why? People always fan cast after they hear rumors. So then they feel validation once Marvel casts them. And it's like, I still not think what you think.
Fantastic Four should just be the Always Sunny in Philadelphia crew. That's it.
It would be the best. That would
just
be
give
perfect.
me that.
Yeah.
And then a Vision series titled Vision Quest is in the works at Marvel Studios. A writer's room is being assembled for the series next week. Okay. White Vision running around doing his thing.
Yeah. He's like, where's my wife? Where's my kids?
This sounds like a TV show that'll be turned into a special presentation between two movies that has a really important plot point that you need to know for the next movie, but not enough people watched this to understand that plot point, and then they're going to have to really double down and explain that in the following movie.
100%, I think Vision Quest will be that. Yeah, special presentation.
Yeah.
Good point. All right, ladies and gents. Well, let's move on to what we've been watching because it's an early morning, so there's no quote of the week this week.
Okay.
But
what have you been watching?
What have you been watching? No. Let's see. So Halloween season, I'm checking out Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. That was a pretty yeah. So it's like I think 8 or 9 episodes. And each one is a different tale of kind of a different, different vibe, a ghost, a monster, a gore, a psychological thriller. Each one is different, directed by different directors. And Guillermo del Toro does like an intro in them, like here's the context for this episode. And it's super classic, old school, kind of like what's that show, Twilight Zone, right? So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. First 3 episodes are great. They have like different. They're all different. They're all unique, but they all the common thread is they all have a lot of prosthetics, a lot of prosthetic monsters and real practicals. And I'm like, yep, that's Guillermo. That's
Guillermo.
Yeah, so
that's what he does.
Fun stuff. I also checked out Blazing Saddles for the first time for one of my classes.
Pretty funny,
man. You've seen it? You seen it?
Yeah,
dude. What a funny movie, dude. Like this is a Western classic, but of course the end does a switch up. I guess I won't spoil.
Well, it's just Mel Brooks. It's Mel Brooks. If you see Spaceballs, you know what you're getting into. Yeah. It's that.
Yeah, his comedy is definitely like my style. I love the physical like randomness of it.
Sure.
It's so like out of pocket and unwarranted, but definitely it's just so appreciated. I love it.
It's pretty funny.
And then I started.
You watched that in Film and Social Issues, right?
Yeah, that one.
Because that movie's a little problematic in some areas, right?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah,
very much so. Yeah. And then I checked out White Lotus had its first episode premiere yesterday or the night before. Oh man, I'll tell you, Jennifer Coolidge. I could do an impression of Jennifer Coolidge my whole life and be happy with it. No? But and then your boy was
interested in checking out White Lotus.
It was a good pilot. There's a lot of characters, murder mystery set up, and it's like, oh, okay, they got a lot of There's a lot of there on the surface that we got to dive into just to figure out. But
sweet.
What you been checking out?
I have been I finished The Bear last night.
Oh,
which was incredible.
Yeah.
So good.
The best.
I highly recommend The Bear. If you have not checked that out on Hulu, go watch that. It was amazing. I can't give it enough praise. Just
Johnny
watch
B. Johnny B.
It's so very good.
Oh man.
Yeah. Did you know, Ryder, that in that show there's the maintenance man. He's kind of a bigger guy, a bunch of tattoos. He's always around. He just wants to be hired as a chef, but he just he fixes stuff. You know that in real life, his name is Matty Matheson. He was actually the culinary supervisor on the show, and he has a cooking channel on YouTube, and he's incredible. He's an incredible chef, and he's hilarious.
That's who that is? Dang. Yeah. I think I've seen videos from that, because like I was thinking that in my head, like back of my mind. Thank you for that confirmation. That is such a good revelation.
It's awesome.
That is so
awesome.
Cool.
So there's a little tidbit of fun trivia right there. I also binged all of Tales of the Jedi, so I finished all Tales of the Jedi on Disney Plus, which was good. I think I had a couple, like, you can watch the whole thing in under an hour, and like you can watch it in an hour and 20 minutes or something like that. 6 episodes. I would say 4 of the 6 episodes are good. The Dooku stuff is really good.
Ooh, yeah.
And the Ahsoka stuff is like has 2 good ones and one that's like, I don't know why they did this, but it was good. I recommend that. I watched The Redeem Team on Netflix, which is Kobe and it's about the Olympic 2018. Yeah, that won won Olympic basketball. So that was pretty interesting, but it has my problems with all Netflix documentaries of not really being interesting. Like, you have a very interesting subject matter, and you just lay it out instead of like documentaries are so good when they like reveal information and they have a creative way of storytelling. And I don't think this is creative at all, but it is an interesting documentary at the very least.
Okay. Yeah.
And then one last thing, I finished Copland last night, which is James Mangold's movie from 1997 with Robert De Niro, Sylvester Stallone, Harvey Keitel, Ray Liotta. It's so good. I loved it. It was great. Highly recommend. That is on HBO Max right now.
This looks solid. Yeah.
This cast is insane. And at the time, it made enough money because of the star power, but people didn't like it because it wasn't action enough for a Sylvester Stallone movie at the time. And it wasn't like you can't at this time when you go to watch a Sylvester Stallone movie, you were expecting a full action movie, and this one is more of like a slower crime movie, and so it's different. Like it wasn't received as well. Yeah, it was in a weird time.
What's this guy? I expect him to go like hold a minigun and go crazy, but
yeah. And then I guess Harvey Weinstein was a producer on this, and he was trying to get a lot of changes on this, like to cut it more actiony instead of more for the story. And so there's like a lot of weird changes in there that the director James Mangold, who's doing like Indiana Jones 5 and everything, and he did Logan and Wolverine, and I read an interview with him last night just about all the things he had to change in it, and so super interesting.
Ooh, wow, that's wild. Okay, well I'll put that on the list. Another one too is Last Night in Soho. I added that one to my list.
Oh, I haven't seen it, I'd love to watch that.
But I want to watch that one too. But yeah, speaking of documentaries, I also checked out the first 3 episodes of Unsolved Mysteries, and that's a Netflix documentary that, like you said, does a good way of storytelling because they set up a context and then they go back to the past and then they unravel the story, and so it's very enticing. So sad to hear about the other one, but
no, that's a good example. It's not all documentaries, but like Netflix has a way of doing them that I've seen so many times where it's like, this is the copy and paste. Like you know what works for you and what will get people talking about it, and so they just drop the clips in the right order that they think instead of like for each story using something and like moving towards different pieces. I don't know.
Do it in an interesting way.
I really like documentaries, like a lot. So
I can
when I watch them, I'm always like, oh, if you just did this piece and like focus on this and then revealed this, like that would have been so much more interesting than you just telling it linearly. Linearly?
No, no, I'm with you. That's more fun out of it, you know.
It is
doing that, picking it apart like that. Well, there you have it.
You go. You go, Red.
I was waiting for you. Sorry. Okay. Well, there you have it, ladies and gents. What a fun episode. Lots of fun stuff. We wrapped up the Halloween season, and we're getting into holiday season always brings, for me, it's more video games than it's movies. Video games are coming out, so if you guys are playing video games, hop on our Discord because we're chatting about some of the stuff.
Do you think you want to do a Gotham Knights stream on here with us playing? I think that would be really fun.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah. Have you gotten it yet?
No.
Yeah,
I'll have to get it.
It would be worth it if we played together.
Yeah.
And that would be like the only thing to kind of get me through that.
Right. Yeah. That'll be good.
Well, stay tuned.
Ryder's been absolutely grinding Modern Warfare, though. God, I know this isn't the video game podcast, but we got to talk about that too.
Oh, baby. Yeah, we have. But everybody have a fantastic week. I hope you enjoyed your Halloween. Hey, let us know what you dressed up as. I'm still trying to do Batman. Anyways, guys, if you haven't already, hop in our Discord. Check us out on social media. We both have Twitter. Also, if you're into movies, like because you're listening to the pod and you want to know what we like, we have Letterboxd. I should probably add our Letterboxd to our.
Oh yeah,
I forget to add that. But let us know what we're doing right. Let us know what we're doing wrong. A review helps us out a lot. Check us out on YouTube. You can become a member there. We'll have a clip up on the channel, and of course, you can also listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts at home. But we'll see you next week for episode 87 and
87, yeah, something like that.
Deep in November.
Beautiful. All right. Bye-bye.